The other thing I want to chat about is this clinic. Why this clinic was so difficult or so intense was because there were lots of patients, very young patients, waiting for kidney transplant or waiting on the donors list. So I wasn't really aware of this. I know in England, it is an opt-in system. So if you want to be an organ donor, you'll have to register with the organ donors list. You can do that through your driving license. In Wales and certain European countries, it's an opt-out system. So everyone is assumed to be on the organs donor list unless they have stated otherwise. It doesn't really matter what kind of system that exist, but one of the things I came back and that I really did straight away was actually change my driving license to put myself on the organs donor list. I think it's really important, and just looking at all these patients that are struggling and are struggling on dialysis, number one, and are struggling just having this condition, having renal failure, and just waiting for an organ to turn up to have a transplant. There's so many patients today all waiting to have a transplant, and I think it's something really difficult to go through. They are just like regular people going through their normal life, but they do have this condition or renal failure for whatever reason, and all they want is a renal transplant. And a renal transplant could change their life, could make them, not having to be dependent on dialysis. They could, have so much more kind of job opportunities, and if they are young, it will open up so much more opportunities for them to go for education and things like that. So that really changed my mind. I don't know what you guys think about this, but I didn't really have an opinion until today. But I think it's important actually to express our wishes, not only to put our wishes online or to express our wishes in our driving license, but also to let our family know, because I worked on ITU before, and I kind of know how the system works. So even if you have registered in your driving license that you want to be an organ donor, and even if you have an advance directive stating that you would like to be an organ donor, for whatever reason, if your children or your partner or your family disagree and wouldn't want that to happen, you would not be an organ donor. The organ donation process would not go through without the consent of the family in the end, because obviously you can understand you don't want to upset the family, especially in at that time. I know it's not something that you want to discuss with your family on like a dinner table or something. It's definitely quite a very grim situation to be in, to have that discussion, but it's very important to let your family members know your wishes so that they can respect that and they can honor that if anything were to happen to you. I think I know I had this conversation with my parents before, and I do know that in some cultures and in some kind of ethnic groups, like they are very much against organ donation, because obviously there are some cultures that believe in afterlives and things like that. So organ donation is it's a very difficult topic to probe, and I definitely respect their wishes. Like if that is what your wishes are, then definitely stick to it. But if you can try, and if you want to be an organ donor, make sure you register your wishes with your driving license, and also let your family members know. And that is all that I have to say. I don't have anything else to say. I've not vlogged in a while. I've had a couple of issues going on with my house. So my heater, so actually my hot water wasn't working very well. And so I had about like 2 or 3 days without a hot water in my shower. I had to take a shower in ice cold water, and that was not fun. Like I still remember in Titanic, like when she asked him, how cold do you think the water is, or something like that. And he said, it hits you like shards of glass. And that is actually what it felt like. It felt like taking a shower with glass. And thank God it's fixed now, so I don't have to go through that again. But if I really feel for anyone who's going through, like, who doesn't have a hot shower, especially now, especially in winter. So make sure your heater is working, and kind of like I am so obsessed with making sure the heater is working now. But it got fixed quite quickly, so I can't complain. So that is all for now. I hope you guys enjoyed this little update and my kind of like thoughts on pre-dialysis clinic that's going on. And I'll see you next time. Bye.